Our action item, superintendent.
Yes, we have two this evening. The first one is school fees and spend plans. We annually need to accept or approve the school fees and the associated spend plans. We reviewed those in study session, and I recommend your approval of the 2023-2024 school fees and school spend plans.
I move that we approve the 2023-2024 school fees and spend plans.
Second.
Okay, with a motion by Board Member Beeson and a second by Board Member Bateman, do we have any discussion about school fees and spend plans? Seeing none, all in favor of approving school fees and spend plans with a motion by Board Member Beeson and a second by Board Member Bateman, say aye. Aye. Any opposed, say nay. That passes unanimously. Okay, next is the naming of the new elementary school in Eagle Mountain.
Yes, we'd invite Principal Stevenson to come forward. Prior board meeting, we had a presentation by Principal Stevenson regarding the naming of the new school in the Overland area, and we would recommend that the board make a recommendation for the naming of that school based upon the recommendations that were given by the committee.
Aaron, do you mind just reviewing? I remember all of them, but just for the public, would you review the names again, please?
Yeah, I'd love to. So the three names that were presented were in alphabetical order. The first was Desert Peak Elementary. The second name was Desert Sky Elementary, and the third name presented was Juniper Hills Elementary.
Okay, so I'm going to make a motion that we name the new elementary school in Eagle Mountain Desert Sky.
Second.
Okay, with a motion by Board Member King and a second by Board Member Lincoln. Any discussion? Sorry, that's a little weird that I made a motion while I'm doing this. Feels a little awkward. I just have to say, I want to thank you and the committee for all the work that goes into this. I know that naming schools is really hard and complicated, and trying to find the right dynamic that encompasses the school and the culture and the community that you want to create is huge. This, to me, was a perfect representation of Eagle Mountain, specifically with the dark sky ordinance. I know there's a partnership between the city and UVU, and I can't remember if it's a planetarium, what exactly is being built in Walden Park, but it makes sense to me that that is such a highlight as they try to protect the dark sky. And if you haven't been out in Eagle Mountain to be able to see the beautiful skies at night, you're absolutely missing out on something. So to me, you guys nailed it on this one. I think it is so indicative of the Eagle Mountain community, and I think you guys did a phenomenal job.
I don't know if I can say anything, but I will because now I'm talking. So, but that's a fantastic choice, and I think that's very representative of what was collected in the parent surveys and student surveys and the input that we received, and so I think that's a fantastic choice or recommendation, or yeah. It hasn't been voted on
Careful,
yet.
Principal.
Yeah, I guess.
Okay, any other discussion? Oh, Mark, are you just preemptively excited to vote? Okay. Okay. All right. So with a motion by Board Member King and a second by Board Member Lincoln, all in favor of naming the new elementary school in Eagle Mountain Desert Sky, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Say nay. Okay, that passes unanimously.
Congratulations,
you have a
Principal.
school name.
Yeah, thank you.
And
This
will
is exciting.
you also explain to us the mascot that you have selected for that school name?
Yeah, thank you. I think like Board Member King was recognizing is that Desert Sky really is a kind of a homage to the great openness of Eagle Mountain, the Dark Skies Initiative, but I think it also is representative of kind of the adventuring spirit, the excitement, the curiosity that comes in that community also. And as we work together as a committee, what surfaced to the top was kind of the idea of an explorer. And so I think Desert Sky Explorers is a great a great initiative to stay curious, to stay adventurous, to continue learning and growing and appreciating the wilderness around us and the benefits that our community can provide us. And so Desert Sky Explorers is the newest elementary school in Alpine School District. So thank you.
Thank you, Principal Stevenson. We appreciate your time. And please extend our gratitude to your committee for the work that they did.
I would also like to congratulate you on that. I think the work that you did in this naming process is evidence of why you were selected to open that school. We appreciate your leadership as demonstrated in this experience and anticipate continued excellence in leadership. So thank you very much.
Okay, so we're going to move on to our discussion item, the 2024-2025 school calendar. Dr. Farnsworth.
Yes, if we could invite David Stevenson, Executive Director of External Relations and Communications up, who's worked with a calendar committee and has the opportunity to share with you some highlights about the calendar. This is a discussion item, so we can discuss it, and then we anticipate approving a calendar in a future board meeting. So, David, thank you.
Thank you, Superintendent Farnsworth. Thank you, board members. It's great to be here this evening, and we are in calendar approval season again, believe it or not. We're looking at the 24-25 calendar. Just so you're aware, we held a calendar committee meeting on March 16th. We had 13 representatives on that committee. 3 teachers, a representative from the Alpine Education Association. We had an elementary and a secondary administrator. We had 2 parents. Two students were invited. Only one was able to make it. And apparently I can't show that as an Adobe, so we'll go here and show it in the drive. We also had board member Hacken and 3 staff members. So as was mentioned, this is just a discussion item this evening. We have 2 options to present to you this evening. And the first one, option A, you can see there that school would begin on August 15th and it would end on May 23rd. And this is the calendar that is the sweet calendar for Christmas break, because Christmas and New Year's are on Wednesdays. When those 2 holidays fall on Wednesdays, we automatically pretty much get the full 2 weeks and 3 weekends. So just to explain a little bit there also, we've sent out surveys in the past, and the 3 priorities, the top priority has always been at least a 2-week Christmas break. The second priority has been end before June, and the third priority is, an end prior to Memorial Day. And then the third priority is start as late in the school year as possible. So 2-week Christmas break, end before Memorial Day, start as late in the year as possible. So this option A kind of addresses those top 2 priorities by ending before Memorial Day and having that full Christmas break. The only main difference between option A and option B is option B starts a week later, 4 days later, 4 school days later. And then if you look at the end, it ends on May 30th, which is after Memorial Day, but before June. And that's important to note that the Teachers Association definitely requests that we end before June. The other difference is in March with option A, we have March 7th as a teacher work day and March 10th as a professional development day. And then if you look down at option B, those 2 days are March 13th and 14th. One other point I want to make, if you look at the red line that goes across the bottom of each draft, option A, the first semester has 86 days, the second semester has 92 days. Down looking at option B, the first semester has 82 days. The second semester has 96 days. So option A, the semesters are more closely aligned. This is obviously important, especially for semester teachers. They like to have, that closer if possible. We could talk about a lot of other highlights, but are there questions, comments?
One comment, David, is that we talked a little bit about this today, that there wasn't like massive differences in these calendars. And it's hard because you've got some people that really don't like going back to school after Memorial Day. That is, I think, really difficult. But you also have teachers, and the ones that have reached out to me through email have expressed concern about starting so early on that Plan A. That really seems to cut short summer. Starting on the 9th, because yes, school starts the 15th, but teachers are required to be there a week early, and so they would have to cut things short and be there by the 9th. We talked a little bit about the possibility of having a survey with parents, and it's not a would you rather, it's more of list in importance what your preferences are. And I'm willing to wager that if we were to do that, it would almost be identical to what it's been in the past. People like the 2-week Christmas, but I can't remember what they were in order. But
2-week Christmas is first, has risen as the first priority, followed by end before Memorial Day, and then start as late in the year. And if the board would like us to do another simple survey, we could do that. Just let us know, since this is just a discussion item. Thank you, sir.
One thing I like on the option A is not attending school on March 10th, the day after daylight savings time. That's kind of a hard day to get kids out the door. So I appreciate that calendar gives us another day for students to acclimate.
And that happened this year. And that's kind of good planning, right?
So the teachers I've heard from are pretty much split down the middle. The preference for both sides, same thing everybody stated. Each one has great pieces, but I have heard from parents that are pushed more towards option A. Everybody would like to be finished before Memorial Day. So,
I guess I think it's fairly important. I like the fact that the 2 semesters are more similar in length. The spring it's nice to be a little longer because they've got all the testing going on, but it's nice if it's not too much longer to where people have to change their instruction based on which semester they're teaching.
Yeah, I'm going to agree with Mark on this one. That's something that kind of stood out to me as a concern for our secondary teachers, that there's such a significant difference in 82 semester days versus 96. And I realized that in spring term, we generally have things like ACT, we have some graduation stuff, we have like Lagoon Days, things like that. So I get that some of that is going to happen, but it feels significant between 82 and 96. That feels like a significant gap. And I do appreciate that option A does cover the top 2 dynamics, which is the 2-week Christmas break as well as getting out for Memorial Day. So that one to me makes a little bit more sense based on what we hear back from the public about what their priorities are.
By the way, I don't know how hard it is, but I'd love to get input from the public. So if we could do that, that would be nice for our next meeting.
And did we already mention how great it is that at least with both of these, is when it's the end of the term, we have those free days. The teachers love having, after the term ends, that, the opportunity to have some time there afterwards. And so I'm appreciative of that. Thanks for the calendar team. Yay. But it's not as exciting as I thought it would be.
I mean, we could have put a plan, option C that
A little more
had us get out
controversial.
on June 30th or
Yeah.
something, July 12th.
Thanks, David.
Okay, so just to clarify too, as to whether or not we're going to direct, because obviously we're not voting on this now, it's a discussion item, but we need to decide whether it's will of the board to move forward with surveying individuals. So I guess just where is everybody as far as if we want to direct staff to pursue a survey with the public, or if we feel the feedback we've received previously stands. So can everybody let me know what your thoughts are on that?
I feel that the previous information is still valuable. I think I need to get some feedback personally from my constituents. That's the important part to me.
Having looked at boundaries before in other settings, it's very rare that people's perceptions change on the 2 week for Christmas and out by Memorial Day. So I'm not sure that it's worth the time it's going to take to get the same results.
Sarah?
I'm not opposed to having a survey. If the only one request I would have is if we have a survey, we need to make sure that our patrons understand and our teachers understand that this isn't a vote. That has frustrated our teachers and our patrons in the past, that they think it's a vote, but it's an actual survey, just another option for us to look at to see where people are sitting. And so, but I mentioned that first. That's why I said I would wager. I don't think that those priorities would change.
And I think the more surveys we have, the more we train our public to think that that is going to impact the decision.
I think since before I was on the board, the surveys have come back with the same information priorities. So I would prefer not to use staff time and resources to do that. I think that the people, anyways, my area has done a great job reaching out, and I suspect once they hear we have this discussion tonight that we'll hear more.
I was just going to ask David if the committee was divided, or was it leaning more towards one or the other?
There was not much of a division with the committee. The committee, these were the two best options that the committee came up with, and it's kind of like naming a school. Am I supposed to say which? The committee voiced the fact that option A fulfills the priorities that have been mentioned in the past as far as ending before Memorial Day. They both fulfill the 2 week Christmas priority. So, yeah.
So maybe if we're doing another survey, maybe we could just throw in these questions. We refresh that every year or two, but I'm fine if we don't do it this time.
Okay, thanks. Do we have any other discussion pieces about the calendar?
I was just going to add that maybe something we can each do as we communicate with our people is kind of explain some of the thought process behind it. So, for instance, the teachers really love on that option A having the 7th off, right, and then getting the weekend to come back. Parents have a little more said that they like option A better, they like the 13th and 14th together in March. So I just think maybe communicating out some of these pieces that I think secondary parents and teachers look a little more at the distribution between the days. Elementary, we're looking at a little more maybe relief around some challenging times for teachers. So I think that's something we can just do is kind of explain some of those different points.
And can I just comment on that? You'll notice that the term end on draft A is March 6th, and you can see down there the difference between third term and fourth term is 8 days. The difference between third and fourth term in option B is 10 days. So, but that's if we hadn't moved the end of the term down to the 12th, that would have been even a larger difference between those terms.
Thank you, David. We appreciate it. Okay, so we're going to move on to our member and superintendent reports and any informational items.
I have just some clarity to provide to the board and our public. There were several questions in public comments raised about the timeline that the Board of Education is following. and whether or not that aligns with state statute. We did reach out, had conversations today with the Attorney General's office and the state auditor, as well as Sid Dixon, the state superintendent. And the Attorney General, after reviewing our process, we sent them all the documents and what we had communicated. They found that our efforts have exceeded the expectations outlined in state statute, that we have given due notice, that December notification actually qualifies for the 120-day start of that communication. So I wanted to be, board members, you've received emails questioning that, wanted you to know the finding of the Attorney General. Also, we have concluded we have one more tomorrow, the Accent on Excellence Awards. Appreciate the foundation and their work to honor our teachers, and thank you for board members for making the time to be there for each employee recognition. That is a valiant effort on your part to sacrifice your time to be there to recognize our teachers. So on behalf of the foundation, I express our appreciation for your attention to that.
Thank you. I'd just like to make a couple of comments about the boundary studies. First of all, I know that there has been rumors that all board members are these cold-hearted number grubbers, and that we're somehow different from them. And I guess as I was walking around Linden Elementary the other day, I think 3 of my sons have done Eagle projects there, where they built, a fence around the garden. I can see the classroom where my daughter learned to read kind of late in her career as an elementary student. And I love that structure. I love the spirit there. And I guess I hope that everyone realizes that this is a hard decision. I think probably as a board member, it's one of the hardest decisions we make, to change a boundary or to reconfigure or close a school. I just wanted to kind of respond to some of the things that I've heard. We've had lots of input from our public in the last few weeks. And I maybe just to kind of respond to some of the things that have happened, really, I have loved to get the feedback. The thing I love the most is seeing how parents and students love their schools. I mean, the most sad thing for me is if we voted to close a school and everyone came up and said, "Good riddance, I hate this school, it's awful." And instead we see just the opposite. Everyone loves it, they feel cared for, and I love to see that. In November, we had a shock, I would say, as a district when the bond didn't pass. On the bond, we had funding to rebuild 4 of the schools that have seismic concerns in the district. And when it didn't pass, I can just say that I felt an urgent need to do something about this. I felt an urgency that I would not have felt if the bond had passed and we were able to address those needs. The staff provided us with a plan to take care of 5 schools with seismic problems without the bond. And I really couldn't in good conscience ignore that way of solving those seismic problems. During the board meeting on February 28th, the district staff recommended implementing the changes during the 24-25 year. And the board at that time voted to move ahead during the 23-24 school year. And I think at that point, I maybe this is a weird thing for a board member to say, but I think I made a mistake. I think I should have voted to follow the staff recommendation and wait for the next year. A few reasons for that I've heard in public comment. I didn't realize how hard it would be to finalize a plan for those schools. And I think the staff realized that, and I didn't realize how strong the advantages were for waiting for another year. As I've talked to principals, I realized that we should have involved them early in the whole planning process because they have some unique insights into what's going on there. I've heard that from the public comments. I've also heard from parents a lot that they needed time to apply for charter schools or out-of-area transfers or to plan their life. I've heard that loud and clear. I also have heard that cities need time to plan for the disposition of property. I realize that is important. I've also appreciate that the accelerated timeline caused stress on district leadership, and I apologize for causing that and not understanding how strong the recommendation was that we wait a year. I think also I've heard that DLI configurations are much trickier than I understood. It's not easy to understand how they integrate with schools, and it may have been easier to study that for another year. And I think I've heard from many parents that they just feel like this decision was rushed, that they're not feeling that their input is being used to actually make the decision on whether or not to close schools. So I guess I just wanted to acknowledge those things that I've heard. If I knew then what I know now, I probably would have voted differently to move forward. I just want to apologize to parents and teachers and those that have had a lot more angst because of that decision to move forward. And so even though I wish I could go back and remake that decision, it's not possible to do that unless somebody else has developed time travel machine. And so, I mean, the only option is, do we try to pause this, wait for another year, or do we move forward? So first of all, I think we need to realize it would be difficult to find a way of unwinding all the changes that have been made without creating an even bigger burden for staff. I know that would be hard. Principals may find it even harder to adjust to going back and trying to keep the schools open. Although some parents don't know what plans to make, some have already made plans to adapt to the boundary change, and if we changed again, that may be even harder for them. I know that it's been difficult for some cities. I think there are ways we can work to them to provide for ways to plan for the disposition of property. And I don't know exactly that we're going to figure out the DLI changes in 1 year, to be honest with you. I think there's a lot of things that will take us quite a bit of time to do that. So just in kind of summary, the choice between implementing in 23-24 versus waiting to 24-25 was a difficult one. But now that we've moved forward, I really think that we need to stay the course to implement those changes in the 23-24 school year. I think if we tried to go back now, that would create greater problems than staying the course. And I just wanted to say I apologize to those that feel those changes should have been delayed or never occurred. I felt some angst myself, particularly as this elementary school closes where all of my kids attended, and where I have so many fond memories. But I really hope that we can unite in moving forward. I think that's the best plan at this time.
Any other board member reports? I just wanted to acknowledge I serve on the MTech Board of Trustees, and the MTech Board separately votes for their school fees that impact our secondary students that attend MTech. There has been a shift where more of the financing is actually coming from tuition instead of fees, which benefits our students directly since tuition is waived for secondary students in who access our MTech programs. So we actually will see a reduction in the fees charged to our students, which is beneficial to them. We don't approve those fees as a board since they're already approved by the MTech Board of Trustees, but I just wanted to make the public aware that those are available on secondary school sites so that parents can make informed decisions about the fees that their children may face as they participate in various programs. Okay, so did you need to make a report, Ada?
I'm just going to report. I serve on the Teaching and Learning Committee, and we had an excellent an exciting committee meeting this past week, in which Scott Sumner and Joel Perkins, they reported on the creation of the data dashboard. And it's moving along exponentially, and they have pushed the service provider that is developing this with us to new levels of creation and innovation. And Joel and his team and Scott are in the process of training principals, assistant principals, and coaches on how to use this, and so that they are able to train teachers in the classroom level about its use, and it will be a powerful tool for pushing learning. And they're able to drill down and filter data in ways that have not been accessible to teachers at this point. And I just appreciate the drive of this team to get this done, and it looks like they're pushing for a January push out to the classrooms, to the teachers. And I'm excited for that day.
Okay, so we do have need of a closed session for personnel, property litigation, and collective bargaining. I will entertain a motion for us to move to closed session.
I move that we adjourn to closed session for reasons of personnel, property litigation, and collective bargaining.
Do we have a second?
I second it.
Okay, with a motion by Board Member Bateman and a second by Board Member Clement, we have a motion to move into closed session. We have to do a roll call. Board Member Wilson, I didn't say that right. Okay, so, sorry, Ada. Your vote in support or opposing to move into closed session. Board Member Wilson.
Aye.
Board Member Lincoln.
Aye.
Board Member Clement.
Aye.
Board Member Beeson.
Aye.
Board Member Bateman.
Aye.
Board Member King, aye. So we are adjourned and moving into closed session.